the population, 70% of whom are women and children.
They developed this technology, the militia used it, and then they tested in Palestine population.
Blatantly obvious that he was blatantly obvious that he was assaulted by the police. His MP wrote to the police. The IPCC said that the police officer should be charged. That's what I think happened, or at least investigated. But the CPS said it's not in the public interest. There's no evidence. Then what did the CPS do? They charged him with assault.
Shame!
But his trial has been, will not be heard until October the 25th, 2028. This is the Stop Yusuf Soon the police. The police are trying to weigh, the CPS are trying to weigh Yusuf down so that he doesn't sue the police. Meanwhile, I have heard that Zionist, by the way I'm Jewish, let me make that clear, by way of They push it to the ground, and now what you do to him, leave the poor man alone! All this man has ever done is raise money for Palestine.
Say on the thing that there's more people.
Free Yusuf now! Free Yusuf now! Free Yusuf now! Free Yusuf now! Free Yusuf now!
Let's police shame, shame!
Let's police shame, shame!
Let's police shame, shame!
Let's police shame, shame!
All the crimes in your name!
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 Genocide in your name!
Genocide in your name!
Genocide in your name!
Genocide in your name!
We won't be intimidated!
We won't be intimidated!
We won't be intimidated!
We won't be intimidated!
Not until we're liberated!
Not until we're liberated!
Not until we're liberated!
Not until we're liberated!
Let him go!
Let him go! Let him go!
Let him go! Let him go!
Let him go! Let him go! Let him go!
Yusuf, use this one. No, use this.
Guys, thank you so much. I love you guys, everyone. Guys, let me start by saying, look, there's been what I understand could be a case of mistaken identity again. You know, and the police have he arrested me and they've let me go.
Say it again, what did they do?
The arrest. They de-escalated the matter. Yes. So, as far as I'm concerned, the matter is closed. Yes. And that's it. My priority is to support you guys, support Palestine, We here, Filton 18 is what brings us together today, yeah? Filton 18, and we're never going to stop supporting them until they release all of them, Inshallah. Thank you so much. Can I just say, just before I start a little chant, I want to say that every one person here, every single soul, you are my strength, my inspiration, my hope, my rock. Free Palestine.
Now, we are here today for the Filton 18. Make some noise for them. But we are also here today because we are part of the movement for the liberation of Palestine. And let me tell you that all of the people that are currently being held captive by this state under this case would want you to be focusing your energy on Palestine as well. It is my absolute fucking honour to play for you a message now that comes directly from inside the fucking hellhole walls of Wandsworth Prison from one of the 18, Sean. Now, I'm going to play it from my phone into the microphone, so if you want to hear it, please be quiet. Let's see if it works.
One of the Filton 18. I wish I could be there with you today, hearing your chances and your support. But instead I can just hear the sound of this prison. I don't know if you can listen. It's a general ruckus and mating of so many voices. I wish I could hear yours though, or maybe, just maybe, if I say free and you can say Palestine loud enough, maybe we'd all be able to hear you in our own respective prisons, so why don't we try that? Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free!
Palestine!
Wow, I can for your support of us Filton 18 on the 27th of March 2025. That's the day when we break our monotonous routines in prison, and it's the day to gather us all together for the terrorism here in the Old Bailey. Arguments will be made for and against dropping the terrorist connection in our charges, which are an aggravating factor if we are sentenced, substantially increasing our sentences and having outrageous lifelong consequences even after potentially decades in prison, having been branded as terrorists. Contrary to the objective by settling to take my lifelong liberty, imprisoning me has only increased my support of a free Palestine and the understanding of the mechanisms and state forces working to prevent a free Palestine. I can only speak for myself, but I feel confident that the rest of the Filton 18 would feel the same way. Yes, I'm in a 164-year-old London prison accused of terrorism. I'm not in an Israeli prison accused of being Palestinian, which would require unimaginably more endurance. I feel that us 18, like Palestinian prisoners, are all in prison in the name of the racist zionist project. So I feel closer to the Palestinians than ever before. Let me ask you, right now, would you rather be in a British prison or in a besieged Gaza? If you chose the questionable safety of a British prison, what does that say for Gaza? The open-air prison where for generations Gazans have listened out for the sounds of Israeli soldiers, jets and drones buzzing overhead. All while Gazans are captive and are not allowed to leave Gaza when they want, just like I can't leave myself when I want. Israeli violence isn't even exclusive to Gaza. It happens from the river to the sea. Important, really, that if you support us and our freedom, then I ask you only to do it within the context of a free Palestine. We're not a separate new issue that requires new organisation. The focus must remain the same: Palestinian liberation. They have accused, imprisoned and punished me for allegedly supporting an end to the genocide. But now I'm left with little else to do but support Palestine. So begin or continue to do it with me in your own capacity. Please, when you support us and speak out against what we're going through, in the same breath, support and speak out against the British-backed imperialist conspiracy to commit genocide via the settler colonial project of Israel. They say nobody is free until we're all free, and it's past due time for the free.
Palestine! Free! Palestine! Free! Palestine! Make some fucking noise for Sean! We won't be intimidated!
So I wrote this last night on the 27th night of Ramadan in the mosque, in between the Tahajjud prayers. And yeah, it was really difficult because I feel like I've said a lot, especially when it comes to my loved ones, our loved ones who are in prison right now. But there are no words in the English language to express the emotions. I feel anger, I feel hurt, I feel sadness, grief, and pain. These words are so weak to describe the heartbreak of what's happening to our people in Gaza, in Palestine, the heartbreak of what's happening to our loved ones here. Every day I wake up to myself and I remind myself, I tell myself this isn't normal. This cannot be the new normal, which is what they want us to think. The state wants us to believe that this is the new normal, but we cannot and will not accept that. To accept that would be to accept the death of our collective humanity. To accept that would be to accept the massacre of journalists who are consistently targeted by the Zionist entity for exposing the truth about the massacres that are happening on the ground in Gaza, like Hossam Shabat and Muhammad Mansour. Hossam Shabat, who was 23, similar to a lot of our ages here, who had ambitions, who had dreams, who was supposed to, prior to the genocide, be in his final year of university and sacrificed his life, dedicated his life to his people and to his land, because this is the most just cause. Hundreds of thousands of martyrs, Palestinian men, women and children, doctors and medical staff are being targeted for saving the lives of patients, academics and scientists who contribute so greatly to our society, with Palestinians being some of the most intellectual in the entire world. They still stand strong. Somdin, somdin, somdin. Steadfast, steadfast, steadfast. The world leaders will never ever get rid of Palestine. The dignity of the Palestinians will always rise above, and we have seen that time and time again. The idea that standing against genocide, against the very tools of war that tear apart families, that erase entire generations, that promote ethnic cleansing would lead to imprisonment is a moral travesty. And yet, this is what has happened. The state has acted in complicity, pushing the voices of dissent into the shadows and locking up those who dare to stand for what is right. Shame! international law, and 12 more were arrested in alleged connection. When we talk about international law, we're talking about the same so-called international law that is reduced to a neoliberal framework that reduces justice to diplomacy, genocide to conflict. The same international law drowning in its own bureaucracy, layer upon layer of committees, envoys and diplomatic gestures that lead nowhere. Whilst Palestinians are being massacred, bureaucrats and politicians reduce international law to debates and empty words that lead nowhere. They hold emergency meetings that result in nothing but meaningless statements of concern. But then I remember that my faith, our faith in humanity is not dead. When we see people like the Filton 18 that took matters into their own hands, taking real action to demonstrate what it means when we say to uphold international law. Trying to grasp the fact that our loved ones, our family, our friends have been taken away from us is painful. Cameron's sister, Shams' words always resonate with me, and she inspires me personally. She said, it's as if you're grieving someone who's alive. Imagine that that person is still there, but you're denied access to that person in every way possible. I think of the mothers like Sukaina, like Claire, Anne, Emma, Bonnie, who wake up to empty rooms, the fathers like Stephen and Cameron's father who carry grief in the depths of their eyes, the siblings like Shams and Brogan who long for the laughter of the ones they love, and I think of the Filton 18 partners like Tina who should be planning their future with their loved ones, like all the friends who yearn to be by the side of their loved ones who give them strength. I think of my loved ones, Q, who should be with her friends and her smile that lights up a room, who should be spending Ramadan with her loved ones, and I think of how she would have been by my side as we collectively shared our grief with the journalists that were martyred, because we have that understanding, we have that shared understanding, and I think of Zahra and her powerful resilience in the way she speaks, the way she carries herself, and how she should have been with her family as well for Ramadan. And I think of all of our loved ones and their wonderful loved ones, their families, whom I have had the absolute honor of getting to know and love. Make some noise for the loved ones of the Filton 18. I think of Cameron and his extremely kind heart and the beauty of his words, who should be with his parents and siblings and doing all the fun stuff Shams was mentioning about some woodwork going on back at home, some building. So big up Cameron for doing that. I think of Zoe, who should have been with Claire last week celebrating her mother's birthday. I think of Fatima Zainab, who should be preparing for Eid with her mother, Sukaina. I think of Sean, who should be with his son right now. I think of Will, who should be preparing and planning his wedding with his partner. I think of Lottie and the amazing work and what she contributes to her community and supporting survivors of domestic violence. I think of Ellie, who I'm sure is the best teacher and whose teaching touches the heart of every child. I think of Sam, who should be applying for his master's with the excitement of thinking about what the degree would hold. I think of Jordan, who actually visited the SOAS Liberated Zone and helped us build our fence. Big up Jordan, thank you. Who should be outdoors, spending time in nature as he loves. And I think of Alex, who's super cool, who owns her own record label and makes her own music. I think of Maddie, who spent their 30th birthday alone, of Yulia, who was planning for her first child with her partner, of HM, who should be reunited with her partner, of Ian, whose birthday is this Saturday. Happy birthday, Ian! I think of Hannah, who should be enjoying her time with the horses, and I think of T, whose fight for freedom speaks to millions. So what do we say to them? To those who have given so much, who endure the suffering because their loved ones dare to act with conscience. We say this: your pain is our pain, your fight is our fight, your strength is the light that guides us forward. the perseverance and the smiles of all of the Filton 18 that they carry on their faces whilst they are under these circumstances, under state violence, is something that truly uplifts the soul, is something we should be inspired and learn from, that resilience. And the Palestinian people see our loved ones in Gaza when they are writing on the rubble, "Free the Filton 18 and free Palestine." The Palestinians recognize the Filton 18 and their bravery and their strength. But the greatest crime of all is not only that our family and friends sit behind bars, it is that those who fund genocide walk free. Shame! It is that this government, which preaches about human rights with one hand, sends weapons with the other. Shame! It is that they dare to speak of justice whilst locking away those who fight for it. It is that they enable and aid the illegal settler colonial project that aims to kill and destroy Palestinian life. It is that they try to use labels to demonize us in the movement, whilst the same people executing terrorism freely are carrying out mass genocide against the Palestinians, and every single regime is watching. Shame! Shame! From all of those in the West to the treachery of the Arab leaders who have continuously proven their betrayal against Palestine. What kind of a world do we live in where those who bomb refugee camps, hospitals, schools, and try to get rid of Palestine, trying to wipe it off the map, are met with handshakes, while those who resist injustice are met with handcuffs? What kind of justice is this? Shame! Shame! But hear me now, no prison can hold back the tide of resistance, no chains can bind the truth, no punishment will break us. We will never, ever give this system rest or peace whilst they continue to arm and aid the settler colonialists. So I ask you this, will we allow them to break our spirit? Will we allow them to get away with funding a genocide? Will we allow them to imprison our loved ones and get away with it? We are bound by our collective goals to see our loved ones free, and most importantly, to continue to grow the movement as they have been asking of us from inside of those prison walls, and most importantly, to see a free Palestine from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! We are all Palestine Action! 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 Free the Filton 18! Free the Filton 18! Thank you so much.
Alright everyone, I just need you to hear this and listen to this closely. Once news starts coming from inside about how the day has gone one way or the other, you need to not post anything, okay? Can't stress this enough. It could aggravate any situation the defendants are going to face. It could also put you in contempt of court. So it's not worth it, okay? So just need to stress that. I just need everyone to like wave their hand if you heard that. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, we're going to bring up our next program speaker. And first I want to just point out that as Palestine Action, we may carry our prisoners on our placards, but we also are here for every prisoner imprisoned. Full stop. Yeah? Prisons themselves, the incarceration system, as we know, was a trail left behind by colonial invaders. The whole thing is so emblematic of what we're fighting for in the first place. So we are here with every prisoner who's behind bars. We are proud of our prisoners for understanding that, for knowing that, and for embodying that whilst they're inside as well. I also want to tell you a nice little story about how they're spreading the movement inside too. Last time time they appeared in court. So they're taken from their cell, obviously, yeah? They go, most of them are watching it by a video link. On their way, at the end of this long day, back to their cells, how do we know that they have been taking the movement into the prison? Because all of the other women in the cells came to the door of their cells and started chanting and banging, "Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!" That's a true story. That's a true story. So I'm going to bring a speaker up from an organization that we work with closely and who I respect deeply. They're a grassroots organization who support and give mutual aid to Muslim prisoners across the UK. So I'd like you to welcome Nejma Collective.
Guys, we're not finished here. Our heroes are still inside. They are still being subjected to judgment. The people who should be judged are the ones sitting in Parliament. Shame on the UK government! What they fail to realise is that resistance is like seeds and we are growing everywhere. We are a movement of justice and we will not stop until Palestine is free. You may incarcerate one of us, but when one of us goes down, 1,000 rise to take our place.
And I use your name.
Long live the resistance! Long live the resistance!
Yusuf!
Hooray! Hooray! Palaction! Hooray! Palaction! Hooray! We won't be intimidated! Not until we're liberated! UK government, you're a liar! We the people have the power! And truly believe that we outnumber them, we put them in power, and we can take that power back! Just like how you saw Yusuf was de-arrested, we will achieve liberation for all people oppressed. And what we are doing now will go down in the history books. You should be proud of yourselves. We are ready to sacrifice and we are ready to take it to the end. Free, free! Free, free! Now I don't know about you, but I very much enjoy waking up in the morning and seeing that more often than not Palestine Action have done another fucking action. And of course, we don't have favourites, but I did have a particularly fucking Merry Christmas when I woke up and saw that some legends were literally smashing through the wall of the Shenstone factory. And it's my absolute privilege to introduce one of those legends to you now. Make some noise for Umar.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem.
I've chanted a lot and I'm fasting, so if my voice like cracks at times, like you're just gonna have to ignore it. Thank you. As we stand here, 77 weeks since October the 7th, genocide factories and merchants of death are still operating on UK soil. Israeli terrorist settler groups desecrate the blessed Al-Aqsa Masjid on a weekly basis. 2 billion Muslims on a weekly basis this happens. Elbit Systems provide 85% of Israel's drone fleet and land-based equipment. Their chief executive claims they provide key support to the IOF. Shame. Just recently, Albert lost a $2 billion contract with the Ministry of Defense, courtesy of Palestine Action. They help produce drones which play sounds of women and children laughing to lure Palestinians out into the street and subsequently slaughter them. Why are we, the people of the UK, the people of the West, allowing genocide profiteers in this country and in our government? We've tried petitions, we've marched, we've lobbied, we've boycotted, but Palestine Action have shut down 2 Elbit sites in the UK and caused countless partners to drop the Israeli weapons manufacturers. Every single person here, in some way, shape or form, has the ability, has the capability, the dedication and the drive to shut down Elbit and Israeli weapons manufacturers within this country. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. Whoever saves a life, it is as if he has saved humanity entirely. When Palestine Action shut down these factories, they have saved countless lives. When the 6 accused of breaking into Albert's Filton site, when they put their liberty on the line, they saved Palestinians. They saved us, they saved our humanity by doing what they did. They saved this movement for the liberation of Palestine within the West. They reminded us that we can fight, and we can fight in a significant manner, and that this fight isn't finished. This fight wasn't finished with a ceasefire. It wasn't finished with the last ceasefire, or the last ceasefire, and it won't be finished until we see Palestine 48. This fight is not limited to these streets. This fight needs to go to the factories, to the government, to the places where these weapons, these drones are being produced, where they're being sent, and these weapons are being used to slaughter the Palestinians that we have to see on our Instagram and our social media feeds day by day. We can do what the 6 accused did, and we can physically break the links of the British and the Zionist arms trade. The people inside this court right now are our moral compass. Their strength and resilience speaks to millions. I spoke to a brother from Gaza yesterday, and he told me that his family, his grandparents and his whole neighborhood, and even further into Gaza, all know about my actions, the Filton, all of these actions that we see and we repost, and we think, wow, look at what Pal Action is doing. Think about how happy you are, and imagine how happy the people in Gaza feel when they know that there's less drones in the sky above them every single night because of us here. They see the Filton 18 behind bars for months on end, and their gratitude is worth more than every single one of us in this country. Every single one of us within this movement in the West, one Palestinian's gratitude is worth more than this world and everything in it. How many of you here are disappointed in the Arab and the Muslim nations? Yeah. 2 billion Muslims, how many of you are disappointed? Yeah. The Arab and the Muslim nations. Palestine is surrounded by Arab and Muslim nations, Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Iran, Yemen, Egypt, Sudan, Libya, all of these Arab Muslim countries, 2 billion Muslims across the West. And how many of us have uttered a single word? 10%, 5%, maybe 1%. 2 billion Muslims, and almost all of them have betrayed our brothers and sisters in Palestine. But not Palestine Action, and not the Filton 18. The Filton 18, Palestine Action, they understand humanity and what it means. They make us have faith in humanity and its essence. They remind us what it means to resist injustice. Right now, this is the month of Ramadan, as other people have mentioned. For us here, that means suhoor, praying with our families. It means iftar, full of tables, iftar parties, here, there, all of your family's house, all of your friends. You go out for iftar, tarawih in the masjid. In Gaza, they can't even pray without the sounds of drones above them. They don't know if this iftar, this suhoor, are they going to eat, or if what they're going to taste is death. I saw a video the other day of a woman crying because she swore, she said, Wallahi uqsim billah, my daughter could not even find food for suhoor, and then she was shot dead Tuesday night when Israel broke the ceasefire. As citizens of complicit Britain, the supplications of the oppressed people in the world are bound to come for us eventually too. The only way we can prevent that is if we do something to end our complicity. You can stand here, week in, week out, and you can tell yourself that this is enough. But while these factories operate on UK soil, we all have a duty to uphold. This has been mirrored before, and I'm pretty sure our brother mentioned it earlier, but the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, said, if one of you sees an evil in the world, your first step is to change it with your hand. You take action, you do something. Your second step is to speak out against it. And your final step, if you can't do either, is to hate it from within. But this is the weakest of faith. How many Muslims here think they have Iman? How many of you think you have faith? Then ask yourself what you should be doing. Ask yourself, have you done all that you can do? Have you really done all that you can do? Do you fear Allah? Do you fear your Creator? Or do you fear these man-made systems of so-called justice? These perpetuators of inequality, brutality, oppression, apartheid, occupation, colonialism, imperialism, who do you fear? I tell you, we have nothing to fear but God. We are the many and they are the few, and it's time we reclaim our narrative. They call us terrorists because we struggle in the path of justice and righteousness. We struggle in the face of persecution and oppression. And when it comes to that, we can all take lessons from the resilience of the Palestinians, the resilience of the people of Yemen, of the people of Lebanon. Make no mistake, we are the resistance. We are the resistance in the West. Palestine Action is the resistance. We have the resistance in Gaza, we have the resistance in the West Bank. And we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But we have started our resistance here in the UK. When we say globalize the Intifada, we mean globalize the Intifada. From Manchester from London, from Sheffield, from the US to Gaza, globalize the Intifada. We mean resistance on UK soil. We mean resistance to the arms industry, to occupation and apartheid. Palestinians have the right to resistance, in whatever form that may take. And so do we. It's not enough to do what we've been doing for 77 weeks. 77 weeks of genocide and 77 years of genocide. And it's not enough. We have to take action, and that is our moral duty. The victory is imminent. The victory is promised. Ask yourself what part you will have to play in that. What part will you have to play in the victory of the Palestinians and their liberation? We're all stood around, the Muslims are all stood around saying, make dua, pray, all we can do is pray. We're stood around waiting for some Salahuddin type man to come and save us, to come and save the Muslims. And none of us are willing to act like Salahuddin. Are any of us willing to act like the man that liberated Al-Aqsa, the man that liberated the historic land of Palestine? Because I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't seen it from an Arab or Muslim nation or leader in the entire 77 years since the Israeli state was established. Glory be to Allah, glory be to Palestine. Glory be to our martyrs, and glory be to the Palestinian resistance. City police, barra, barra! City police, barra, barra! Palestine, harra, harra! Me. Cute hire!
Cute hire! We love you, hire!
Please, if you're not already doing so, follow the Free the Filton 18 Instagram page to keep up with updates with our loved ones. We still have an ongoing petition. We managed to reach 50,000 signatures though by the day we wanted, so that's amazing. But we want as many signatures as possible, so please keep signing the petition, keep sharing these stories of our loved ones with your friends and everyone you know, and keep amplifying their voices. We have a duty to do so. Free!
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Okay, it's Asr time, it's prayer time. So I'm going to do the call to prayer, and then if anyone wants to pray can come across that side of the street, and then everyone else can stay over here. Yeah. Again, voice is gone by the way, so no judgment please. If anybody needs to do, we'll do as well. We have like 4 water bottles over here. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.